Good afternoon. Welcome back to Big Oaks Little Farm. I'm Jamie, and today I'm planting peppers. Ideally, I would have already planted peppers. I am in Texas in Zone 8A. My specific area on the map, the average last frost date is April 10th. So today is February 15th, and that means that this past Sunday was 8 weeks out. And most peppers you plant 8 to 12 weeks out. So I'm a little late planting my peppers. I had planned to plant them before now. However, if you follow our channel, all you know that I was recently in the hospital with rhabdomyolysis, and that kind of set everything back. I have a greenhouse that Thomas built for me last year out of an old trampoline, and it needed some repairs before I can use it, so I was kind of putting off planting, and then I went into the hospital and he had to single dad, take care of the farm for a while, and it's kind of put everything behind. And so I'm planting peppers even though I don't have my greenhouse. So my plan is to keep these inside in a window. I do have heat mats. The room that they will be in does stay a little bit cooler. And it being right up next to the window, I just want to make sure that at night I'm keeping the soil warm because peppers do like warm soil. So I'm going to tell you all about what I'm planting and what I'm planning on doing with them. So you'll notice all of my seeds here, none of them are in seed packets from an actual seed vendor. That is because all of these seeds I either saved out of my own peppers or acquired at the seed exchange that we hosted back in January. And so I'm very excited about this. So I'm going to go over what all I am planting. So what I've done here with my seed trays, I have them all ready. I mixed some mushroom compost that we had into some organic seed starting soil to kind of make it go farther. There's also rabbit poop in there. And then I've labeled, like this here, I've labeled the popsicle sticks to go in here. I just had a bunch of these from a project one of the kids had to do for school. This one's for banana peppers. So here in the front I have, let's see, actually I'll just go over it this way. So as I mentioned, banana peppers. These I bought the plants last year, I believe. Now I don't remember. I don't think I started my seeds last year. I don't think I had any seeds. So I bought the plants and then I saved seeds out of the plants for banana peppers. These my daughter Ada loves. She will just go out there and take one and eat it with her lunch, chop them up. She's a big pepper eater, these and bell peppers. I like to cut them up and can them and use them on salads. I think it's delicious. Okay, then this is just a random multicolored bell pepper that I had. It came out of a seed packet that I had a long time ago. That seed packet is, gosh, we still lived in 40 and we're gardening in the Tower Gardens. So they're at least 4 years old, but some of them still germinated last year, and so I saved seeds out of those peppers. Okay, let's see, Poblano Peppers. I got some Poblano Peppers last year from my friends over at Hollow Oak Farm, which is outside of Kaufman, Texas. They do a great job. Every plant that I got from them did fantastic, and Poblanos was one of them. And I really love Poblano peppers. They're very versatile. You can do lots of things with them. My favorite thing to do is stuff them, wrap them in bacon, and grill them. It's delicious. I'll share that recipe sometime. And let's see, okay, Pumbaa peppers. These are very pretty, and that's what drew my eyes to the packet. These I got at the seed exchange, and they are a very hot pepper, and so I'm only going to plant, let's see, planting 3. I know I made space on my garden plan for 2, but I always do some extra because you can always give them away. That way I'm ensured that I have 2. So I'm going to start 3, but hoping I'll get 2 out of them. And these I'm just going to use in salsa because I like my salsa very spicy. Okay, and then I have California Wonder Bell peppers. I also got these from Hollow Oaks Farm last year, and they were just great. Produced a lot of bell peppers. We're actually still eating on them. We're almost finished with the ones that I had chopped up and put in the freezer. Okay, and in addition to the California Wonder Bells, I have some purple bell pepper seeds. I got some purple bell pepper seeds, and I'm very excited about them. I also got some purple chili pepper seeds because purple is just so pretty, and why not grow things that are purple? So these chili peppers, I will most likely try to dry and then use as chili powder, but we'll see. I'm kind of undecided on that process because I know it can be a little bit difficult, so we'll see on that. Okay, and then I have long thin cayenne peppers, and this is what I'm going to do with these. These my dad actually grew. He grows cayenne, and then he will braid them together in those pretty long braids and let them dry, and they're very pretty dried. I actually use them in a dairy dish that I do with our raw milk called labna, and you put it in this jar with olive oil and some peppercorns, and you stick these little cayenne peppers in it and dried cayenne and rosemary, and it looks really pretty. But this is what I intend on doing. I really like spicy food, and so I add this to a lot of things. And last but certainly not least, jumbo jalapenos. So last year I took my kids to this peach farm near us. It was called Peachy Page, but they have since come under new ownership, and they are now called something else that I cannot remember, but I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it right here. And I will link to if they have their website or their social media or whatever, because it's a really fun place to go. They have berry picking and just these beautiful peach trees, but they have a little store, and in the store they had these jalapenos that were like huge jalapenos. And so I called my dad and was like, you have to look at these jalapenos, as Marco Poloing him, because he shares my love for jalapenos. I decided to save seeds out of them for the both of us. So I gave him some, and I have these, and I'm hoping that they grow as big as the ones I got, because that would be awesome. Jalapenos, I love them any way you cook them. Stuff them as poppers. I love to can them, and then I will have them in chili, on sandwiches, on baked potatoes. I love jalapenos. All right, so that's all of them. So now I am just going to pre-water my trays, because it's a lot easier to water them before you put the seeds in. That way the seeds don't get lost in there. So I'm going to water them, put the seeds in them, and then I will take them inside and show you the setup I have going on in there. I should have watered it before before putting the popsicle sticks in, because it kind of faded some of them, but it'll be okay. I can still read them enough to know which goes in each. I'm actually going to put 2 seeds in each, just because I want to make sure I get some that germinate, because I can always up-pot them and share them with friends. Or, you know, just find somewhere else to plant them. Last year, I had some extra plants, and so I just started like planting them in front of my house, because we never really landscaped the house. So I planted all my hibiscus in front of the house last year, and then I had like extra sage plants, and I was just planting stuff everywhere. I'm planting so many jalapenos, it's ridiculous. It made me really sad when I used up my last jar of jalapenos, so I was like, I gotta plant more next year so I can last the whole year. Thomas really loves them too. had some repairs. This is the setup that I am working with at the moment. Got good light that comes in this window, especially in the morning time. And I have a plug right here. These are on heat mats because this room does get kind of chilly, and our windows are not the thickest, so it does get a little chilly next to the window. So I'm hoping that these germinate quickly. You know, a pepper seed packet say they take 7 to 10 days. I'm hoping that it stays within that range because in 2 weeks, I would really like to be able to move these guys off of the heat mat so that I can use the heat mats for my tomatoes. Although I'm probably planting more tomatoes than peppers because you can do so much with tomatoes, but that is for another day. I wanted to show the current setup that I have here because we are using this setup at the moment because the greenhouse is in need of some repairs. Hopefully in a couple of weeks when it's time to plant tomatoes, the greenhouse will be ready and I'll be able to move everything out there because we have limited space inside. This is the only room that we really keep cut off from our house cats because they would absolutely be all up in this making a mess. So I have a window that gets a good amount of sunlight that comes in, especially in the morning time. These trays that these sit down in, they are not solid trays. I can't bottom water with these. And so I was worried about dirt spilling out and everything. So they're actually sitting on the tray out of a dog crate that was not being used. So that's to kind of keep everything contained. And then I have these heat mats. These are just some cheap heat mats that were like 2 for $24 or something like that on Amazon. I will try to link that in the description. I'll let you know how they work. They seem to have good reviews, so hopefully it'll be helpful because it does get a little chilly right here next to the window. This room stays a little bit chillier because our house really, when it gets cold, we have a wood burning stove that heats the house really well, but because we keep this door shut, the heat doesn't make it in here. And if the rest of the house is warm, the heater is not coming on, so it gets a little chilly in here. I'm hoping that with the heat mats and the sunlight that these germinate pretty quickly because in 2 weeks I can start planting tomatoes and I'm going to need these heat mats for those because I only have these 2. Although I don't think all my tomatoes are going to fit in this many trays because I'm planting like a lot of tomatoes. I hope this was helpful in case you wanted to think of some other pepper varieties that you might want to grow and what to do with those. And in case you don't have a greenhouse and need to, you know, come up with a backup plan. Last year was my first year to actually have a greenhouse, so it's always been backup plan around here. And even then, like, my greenhouse is not a nice fancy glass greenhouse. It's literally made out of an old trampoline. And when we do the repairs to it, we'll make a video about that to show you guys how we made a little greenhouse on a budget. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Happy homesteading.